Alright guys, thanks for joining me. Just wanted to make this video, which is like an add-on to a video that I made concerning the signs in the heavens and all things lining up towards September, suggesting that World War II, i.e. aka seal number 2, would happen at the beginning of that month. And of course, if so, you know, it's obviously end of the age events fulfilling themselves, and then we need to be looking, when the seals begin, we need to be looking to the next full moon, which of course would be the Feast of Tabernacles. But there's something else that I need to share with you, which is another kind of sign in the heavens, and it's my star Vesta comes back and it makes a loop in Gemini, which is another constellation of the Antichrist, because Gemini, he was born in Gemini, is two people, like twin or clone. Yeah, he was born in Gemini. He was born on June 21st 1982, summer solstice, Prince William. And not only that, I mean, Comet Ison came out of Gemini. It came down to pass through Earth. They pulled William out of the military, actually preparing him to be king at that time. So the Gemini Man movie was made about him. What happens? They make a new young clone, and the clone comes back and he makes war with the original. That's exactly what's happening here. The Antichrist is a clone of the real Christ, and at Armageddon, what does it say? It says it in Daniel, it says it in Revelation, they shall make war with the Lamb. At Armageddon. So it's exactly like that Gemini Man movie. See what I mean? It's all on top. It's not just one thing.
I think I know why he's as good as you. He is you.
25 years ago, they made you from me. They chose me because there's never been anybody like me.
He was born in Gemini, the constellation. And so my star Vesta makes a loop in at the beginning of November. All right? And this star Vesta, man, is literally kind of not mapped out my life, but it's like storybooked. Every time it makes a loop or it makes a turn like this, something happens in my life. I noticed these two stars, Ceres and Vesta, in 2014. We knew already about the Holy Virgin Virgo sign, the Revelation 12 sign. We knew, well, I must have knew about that beforehand. And I was looking in Virgo, and two stars come along in 2014, obviously way before 2017 sign in the heavens happened. I noticed these two stars, Vesta and Ceres. And they came through, and Vesta was born through the constellation line on August the 11th, 2014, which is my birthday. And then Ceres came along, and it birthed through the Virgin on the 19th of August 2014. Interestingly enough, I used to know a lad called Jason Egroff at the time, and his birthday was on the 9th. You know, you just follow in your spirit, and I was talking to him at that time, 2014, and I haven't really spoke to him since, which is interesting, because the times that I started speaking to this Jason Egroff character was the time the two stars came into the Virgin and they made a loop around, right? And that's the time that we were speaking, and then they loop back out again. And then I made a post about this at the time, and then 2014 Vesta star was born through the Virgin's constellation on 11th of August, my birthday, and then the 19th Ceres came through and was birthed through the Holy Virgin on that day. And like I say, I mean, I don't even remember doing it, but I was just curious about this. You know, I clicked on someone's info, and then bang, like it always does with the Holy Spirit, his birthday was the 19th of August 1984, like 8 days, number of completion, 8 days after my birthday. And so I was like, wow. So this is how I came to follow this Vesta star. So you can imagine that just by that, you know, I had a little connection to this star, like biffing for the Holy Virgin. The constellation Virgo, the sign of the woman in the heavens of Revelation 12 sign, obviously. So then things started coming up then. In 2018, it come around again. I seen it come in about maybe not a year ago, but maybe about a good 6 months before. And I made a video, hey, my star Vesta return. I guess just like this, me making a video, my star Vesta's returning for a loop round, guess what, Ophiuchus, which is considered to be the 13th constellation to the ancient Christians, the 13th constellation, and guess what, it's between Sagittarius as well, which is another symbol of the Antichrist, because the Antichrist comes on a horse with a bow, and Scorpio, which some say is like a symbol for like Satan, and it's smack bang in the middle of them, Ophiuchus, and it's the serpent bearer, the one who has hold of the serpent, which is like God, Jesus Christ. They have hold of him now. Do you know what I mean? He's done with the serpent, the snake. But they say this is they say it's nicknamed the Golden Gate of Heaven. In reality, it's the center of the universe. You know, the Milky Way, the universe, that, you know, that brilliant light you can see behind, in the middle of all the stars. It's Ophiuchus, Golden Gate. All right. I made a video. Hey, Vesta's coming in Ophiuchus in August, which again is my birthday, 2018. Forgot about it. In fact, that year was the time I was up there and someone stole my bird bath. I prayed that just like these Romans have took away water from my birds, so let their water be taken from them in the time of revival, which is the time of the seals. Forgot all about it. And I got in trouble with the crown, which are the servants of the Antichrist, the servants of the beast. The beast is that being on the coat of arms of the king, not Charles, but William. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . William's coat of arms has the scales on it, like Leviathan, but it's exactly the same thing. It has a face of a lion. It's likened to a leopard hanging off a tree, climbing up a tree. It's likened to a leopard. It has a face of a lion. This is Revelation 13. It has a feet of a bear. All right, and then Daniel says he has iron teeth. The beast has his teeth open on the coat of arms, and you can see they're white like iron, or silver like iron. And then it has nails of brass, and the colors of this lion looking being, but if you look closely you'll see that it isn't. It's got feet of a bear, but what color are its nails? Red like brass, not white like iron or white like a lion's nails are, but they are red like brass. That beast on the coat of arms of William is the beast of Revelation and Daniel, fulfilling all the description and with none missing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the beast anyway. So yeah, I was in trouble with the servants of the beast, and so yeah, around that time. But it was it's like some false accusations were being brought against me. Some accusations were being brought against me, and for like a bail condition, I couldn't go home. So then I was away from home. In fact, it turned out to be 3 months that I was away from home. And then I was at my dad, see, but out of these times of anguish come great revelations. And like I say, and that, actually I forgot all about Vesta when all this was happening. If I might have known about Vesta, I might have said, oh, this is all written in the stars. But I didn't. I forgot about Vesta by the time July came around. And so, yeah, the bail conditions, I couldn't go home. So then I was staying at my dad's house. In a whole month, I literally smashed ministry out. I was doing video articles, and I'm not just like saying, oh, this is today, and this is day 1, day 2, and this is how. They were prophecy. I mean, there was stuff like, you know, the cloned, the cloned armies, you know, flee to the mountains. You know, I'll make the sun go down at noontime. Take your money out the bank. Go short on stocks. These were like some of the videos that I'm making. They weren't like. They were like specific prophecies, and actually most of them videos have their own article on them videos, so they were real important. I was like bang 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 every day. I mean, literally every day. I mean, maybe every other day if the article was a little bit bigger, but I was like bang 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 for a whole month. So this time, and then Vesta comes around like this, and it makes a loop round in Golden Gate, and this was July, August through. But then, you know, spirits changed, and I was clashing with my dad a little bit because I was sleeping on his sofa. So then I went out and I was sleeping in my car, and then I thought, like, you know, I was just thinking, well, why am I just sleeping here like some dog, and no one cares about me, no one's calling up to see how I am, or no one really cares, and I'm just going to pitch my tent now. I thought, I'm not, you know, I'm going to sleep on the floor. I'm going to sleep on something, like, I'm not going to be sleeping in the back of my little car like this. And then like a driving offence was coming around, and you know, if I would have been found guilty of that driving offence, then I would have lost my licence, then I wouldn't have had a car to sleep in. You see how it was just getting worse. And so and yeah, so I pitched my tent. Another thing happened. I was pitched my tent. I was sleeping outdoors for a number of weeks. And then I refined, you know, I still had money, I just didn't have a place to sleep. That's basically it. So then I refined my Exodus pack. So I had a tent, like, and literally the wind blew it down and it just crashed. I thought, that's shite, I need a better one. So then I went and got a better one, and it survived, and I still have it to this day, and I bought it from Blacks, which is now the Go. And so there's another blessing that came from it. You know, I literally refined my Exodus kit by literally doing it. just by literally I was literally sleeping in the field. And another thing is that it was like them Exodus fields that I've got on my banner picture. And then I seen the field tenant, field owner, and they said it's okay for you to do it, but just make sure you put your tent, your tabernacle to the side, so that we can just do the fields at that time. So, you know, obviously I was known by the field owner as well at that time. So a number of blessings come from it. And then I got found not guilty on both of them. And then about a month later, you know, I returned home. But that was what I'm trying to get at. I know it's long-winded, but you know, let me just speak. And so that was a loop in 2018, beginning around July time, through August, through my birthday. I wasn't home for my mum's birthday, I wasn't home for my birthday, and then through August I was still homeless, sleeping in the fields, refining my Exodus, and then sort of come back to my family a little bit, because my mum started to bring me meals towards the end of it. And then I was back home, I don't know, about late September, October maybe, and found not guilty on them charges. I know, and then he went off again. And then he come back in 2018. So at this time, like, I was speaking to a woman from America, and we were quite in kind of love with each other, but there was some circumstances apart from the distance keeping us together. But you know, we arranged that we were going to meet up and stuff, but it didn't pan through, which is probably good in the long run. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been saving myself for 10 years since I've been born again for the right wife from God. Not saying she wasn't the right wife, but wrong time. Do you know what I mean? Wrong time maybe. And so yeah, but during that time anyway, guess what? Vesta's making a loop round in Aquarius. Now Aquarius and Aquarians, and maybe even some people who are not biblical, will know exactly what this means. And the Aquarians are expecting this time of peace to come, and basically it's a fake peace time. And the Aquarians that follow it, I call them the Aquarians, because they're the people. And who's the Aquarian, if you like? Prince William, the Antichrist. He is the Aquarian, and the Aquarians, I like to call them, are the people that follow in him and want to bring in this fake illusion, deception of peace under the fake savior. Do you get me? So I knew this was coming, and I said to this girl, you know, prepare yourself for something about to happen around. I believe the peak of it was about July. Through and out again. I'll just speak about that bit, the next bit afterwards. I said just prepare yourself. And what happened, I got in trouble again with the Crown, which was a driving offence, and basically I sort of had an accident in my car, and then so they were looking at taking my licence away, and yeah, in August they did. And so that was exactly like Vesta was saying. And now, even for the next 2 months, I'm on like a probation thing where they check up on you every month, just to, I don't know, see that you're not getting into, see that you're still in the country. I believe it is. It's just like a control thing. But I've only got like 2 months left. 2 months left. She said to me, "Oh, well, it ends in July anyway." So, yeah, but Vesta came through June, July, bang, and he was exactly right. And then it came through like this. And then another part of it, I mentioned that, you know, I fell in love with this woman from America and kind of thing. And yeah, I did think she was the one, but there was some weird circumstances. Like, you know, she was married to a Shriner Mason. Which, you know, maybe God sent me to try and save her from that. I mean, how can you be with someone that has literally taken an oath to serve Lucifer, Satan, through these secret societies? And you can't be a Shriner without being a high Mason, it says, well, from the research that I've said. So you have to be a Freemason before you become a proper Shriner. And the Shriners were the ones who married her, and she had no clue until she was born again a year or two later. And then, well, we just, in conversation, she goes, "Oh my God, I don't believe it. So he's a Shriner." I was like, well, probably. Shriners are not going to put on a marriage for someone who's not a Shriner. Do you know what I mean? The Crips, the Bloods, are not going to put on a party for someone who's not part of their gang. Do you know what I mean? So she realised later. But anyway, this last little peak like this, it went and made another turn after it made its Aquarius turn in 2018, and it made a turn. I think it was Capricorn, isn't it? The two horns, Capricorn, pretty sure. But it was on like the Feast of Tabernacles, and I was like, whoa. I mean, literally, the peak of it was the Feast of Tabernacles, the 8th of October. It made its turn like this, and I was like, wow. But, we have Feast of Tabernacles every year. But guess what? Concerning that lady from America, that was the last day we spoke to each other. That was the last day we spoke to each other, was when my star Vesta made a turn like this and then outward again. So like one thing, obviously it's specific to my events actually. This is more of a personal thing rather than world prophecy, let's say. But this is more of a personal thing, and but it's amazing how specific it was. Is that this person I was like, I did love, maybe still have, feelings for, kind of thing. But that was the last time we spoke to each other, was on the very day that Vesta made a loop like that. And here's the other thing, is that maybe that person was special in some sort of way. Obviously nothing really has came out of it now, but for like I said, tabernacles happens all the time. So that being, I don't know. So obviously them events of my life was like written off in the stars. And so, but we come to this year now, and like I said, we went through all that September thing. We looked at September could be a possible day for all the seals to happen, but what happens is, I've got in my diary now, is that, let's go back to the beginning. I've got in my diary now, October. It's got October the 6th. Vesta enters, oh, you're not going to be able to see that, are you? Vesta enters Gemini. And then the peak of it is the 3rd of November. It says the peak turn, if you like, is the 3rd of November. So, I mean, obviously that's some time. We were talking about the beginning of September, and now I'm saying about this star, my star, Vesta, making its turn in Gemini, a symbol of the Antichrist, the clone of Christ, coming in for like the beginning of November now. So I mean, it is a bit of a spanner in the works because it's outside of that window that we were looking at, but I'm here to share the truth with you. I would love for this star sign, this Vesta coming into Gemini, to mean nothing, and that's okay now. I'd love for the seals to begin and go through September and all that. And for the passing of the throne to happen on November, maybe the Feast of Tabernacles. For it to all be done, but this has just put a little doubt in my mind, because it is all two things. It's like Vesta's specific to me, Gemini is specific to him, the beast, the William, the Antichrist, and them who serve him. So, and like I say, it's never failed to map out my life in the past. So I would have to come out and say, believe is that, you know, around from, you know, the 6th of October to the 3rd of November, something's going to happen between me and the Crown, William, or his people again. I mean, that is going to happen. But like I said, I'd love for the passing of the throne and everything else, the seals, to be September through October or whatever. But yeah, it's just a little bit of a spanner in the works to my own watch period, you know what I mean? So I just want to share that video, share this on a video to you. So that's what happens in my diary. But like I said, it is outside of the window of high watch period. But it would, it's not going to say that it means nothing. I mean, what do I think of it? Like, personally, it's like, well, maybe it could be something that happens after the passing of the throne, or I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's an event that comes after the passing of the throne happens, between me and them. I don't know. Or maybe the wars begin in September, like, you know, the Dome of the Rock be destroyed or whatever. Maybe the 7-year agreement gets created on September 27th-ish by the United Nations, but is not confirmed, because the scripture says he shall confirm the covenant with many. Confirm means like make final. Well, you know what confirm means. It doesn't mean create. Create and confirm mean something totally different. Until I press publish on, you know, this video, it's really just my creation. So yeah, I don't know, but like I said, I'm just gonna have to throw you up the truth about this. And yeah, my star Vesta comes in to Gemini in 6th of October, and then it makes its turn in Gemini, the clone constellation, i.e. William. It makes its peak turn, it peaks on the 3rd of November, which is outside of this watch period. But like I said, you know, I would love for it to mean nothing and for everything to happen in like September time. But if it doesn't, then this may have a bit more of a clue to what's coming and when it's coming and stuff like that, you know. If you were to look at it from like a brazen point of view, it could be that the closest point between me and William would be like November 3rd. I mean, could that be the time that he's actually crowned? Could that be the time of Seal 1? You know what I mean? So we're just gonna have to wait and see on it. But yeah, it's up there anyway. It's in my calendar, so I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any views and any insights to any other possible meanings, please share it. Like always, keep one day at a time and just share these new bits of information and wisdom that are coming our way, because it says in the end time, you know, wisdom, knowledge shall be increased. Daniel says that. So with all this new knowledge that are coming to the prophets, you know, like It's All Supernatural guy on YouTube with his watch period for the World War, and you know, Daniel Taylor with his menorah of eclipses, you know. New wisdom and new knowledge is always coming. It's always going to keep coming in these end times, and even through the end times, I guess. So God bless you all. I've been Pastor Prophet Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy, coming to you from Conway Mountain, danger point there, just looking out over the Conway Estuary. So anyway, God bless you all. Thanks for watching. Take care. In Jesus' precious name, amen.